You know, we make and rely on financial promises all the time. But what happens when you see the words indemnity or guarantee pop up in a contract? They might sound kind of the same, right? But in the eyes of the law, they are completely different, and getting them wrong can have some pretty huge consequences. So, let's break down what they really mean. Alright, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to set the scene with a simple story. Then we'll meet the cast of characters for each type of promise. We'll dig into who is actually on the hook to pay, and more importantly, when. We'll also explore the real purpose behind each of these agreements. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with a side-by-side breakdown and see why this distinction is so incredibly important.
So let's get started. Instead of diving into a bunch of dry legal jargon, let's think about these as two very different kinds of promises. It makes it way easier to understand.
Think about it for a second. Have you ever had car insurance? Or maybe, had a parent co-sign a loan for you? If you said yes to either, then guess what? You've already dealt with these concepts. That insurance policy, well, that's a form of indemnity. And that loan co-signature, yep, that's a guarantee. They both involve a promise to pay, but how that promise works is just worlds apart.
Okay, this right here is the absolute key to understanding everything else we're going to talk about. Just think of an indemnity as your safety net. It's a promise designed to catch you and protect you directly from a loss. A guarantee, on the other hand, that's the backup plan. It's a promise to step in and cover someone else's debt if they can't. See the difference? One protects you, the other one protects the person who is owed the money. So how do we start telling these two apart in the wild? Well, the easiest way by far is to just count the number of people involved in the deal. An indemnity is basically a two-way street. It's what we call a bilateral agreement, just two parties. But a guarantee? That's always a triangle. It's a tripartite agreement. It literally cannot exist without three different players. Let me show you what I mean.
With an indemnity, it's super simple. You've got two parties in the deal. First, there's the indemnifier, the one who makes the promise to cover a loss. So think of your insurance company. And then you've got the indemnified. That's the person being protected from the loss. In this case, that's you. That's it. Just two players on the field.
Now, for a guarantee, we have to add a third person to the mix. It's essential. First, you have the principal debtor. That's the person who originally owes the money. Then you have the creditor, the person who is owed the money. And finally, you have the surety. That's our backup plan, the one who promises to pay if the debtor can't. All three have to be there for it to be a real guarantee.
Okay, so now we know who is involved in these deals. But the next really big question is, when do they actually have to pay up? And this all comes down to a concept called liability.
In an indemnity contract, the one making the promise has what's called primary liability. This means the responsibility to pay is direct, it's independent, it's immediate. The very second that specified loss happens, bam, their obligation kicks in. If you get into a car crash, your insurance company is on the hook right away. They're the first and only line of defense.
A guarantee is completely different. In this case, the surety's liability is secondary. It's contingent, which is really just a fancy way of saying it all depends on someone else messing up first. The creditor can't just go straight to the surety and demand payment. The surety's role as the backup plan only gets activated if and only if the original debtor fails to pay up.
And this shows you that exact chain of events. Step 1, the main person who owes the money has to default. They miss their payment. It's only after that happens that we move to Step 2, the surety's obligation is now triggered, which then leads to Step 3, where the surety has to step in and pay the creditor. See, if the original debtor always pays on time, the surety never has to do a thing.
Okay, we've covered the who and the when. Now let's talk about the why. What is each of these contracts actually trying to accomplish at its core?
So the whole purpose of an indemnity is about reimbursement. It's designed to make you whole again, to compensate you, to put you back in the exact same financial position you were in before something bad happened. A guarantee, though, it serves a totally different master. It's all about providing security for a creditor. It gives them the confidence to lend money in the first place because they know they have a solid backup plan if the borrower flakes.
All right, we have broken down the parties, the liability, and the purpose behind these promises. So now let's put it all together in one final side-by-side comparison to make these differences crystal clear.
So this table, this is where it all clicks into place. You see the big ones we talked about, two parties versus three, primary liability versus secondary. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Look at the number of contracts. An indemnity is just one single simple agreement. But a guarantee, it's actually a web of three distinct interconnected contracts. There's one between the debtor and creditor, one between the creditor and surety, and an implied one between the surety and the debtor. And check out the right to sue. That's a huge difference. After an insurance company pays you, it's really complicated for them to go after a third party. But a surety who pays off a debt, they get to step directly into the creditor's shoes. This is called subrogation, and it means they can sue the original debtor directly to get their money back.
So after all these nitty-gritty details, let's circle back to the main question. Why does any of this matter? Why do you need to know if you're the safety net or the backup plan?
Okay, let's boil it all down to the absolute essentials. An indemnity is a direct promise to save you from a loss. A guarantee is a conditional promise to pay for someone else's mistake if they don't pay their debt. With an indemnity, the liability is direct and immediate. With the guarantee, the liability is totally contingent. It only kicks in after someone else defaults. Knowing which one of these you're signing can make a world of difference for your financial future.
And really, that's the bottom line. These promises are everywhere you look. In insurance policies, apartment leases, business deals, you name it. But the next time you see that dotted line, you'll actually know what to look for. You'll know to ask yourself, am I signing up to be the safety net, or am I the backup plan? Thanks for digging into this with me.